Sports reporting. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down. You know nothing about sports.
Nuts prod not the beat.
You know nothing about sports.
Hello, my fellow football fanatic. This is your Uncle Ruckus. Ruku to the phrase. On behalf of Roger Goodell and all of the beautiful rich white owners in the NFL, and Jay-Z, we would like to thank all of you who came out on all of the sports networks, ESPN, Fox Sports 1. We'd like to thank all of you who came out in support and defense of us from Colin Kaepernick. You shuffle with the best of them, and Ronald Reagan would be mighty proud.
America, we back at it again.
Back at it, man.
Another week.
Are we going to hear from our special guest?
We already heard from our special guest. I'd like to thank our special guest for the beautiful intro that he did on today's episode. Special guest. Once again, I want to thank the good Reverend Uncle Dr.
Ruku.
Ruku.
We gotta get him back though. We gotta get him back.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get him back. Maybe he can help us. Maybe he can help us do some picks or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So America, we already know you've heard about what's going on with Colin Kaepernick. My only bone to pick is why, if he wants a job, being an African American man in a predominantly GM, I'm pretty sure all the GMs are probably Caucasian. Why would you show up to your interview wearing a Kunte Kinte shirt? That's my only bone to pick with the whole situation. I'm thinking if you're going to go in for a job interview, you want to put your best foot forward and get a job. But hey,
you want the long answer or you want the short answer?
Give us. We got 15 minutes. Roll.
He did that because he knows what we know. He knew going in that he wasn't going to have a fair shot at getting a job. This was not about him getting a job in the NFL, which is why he moved the workout to a location of he and his team's preference. I don't know if you had the chance to either listen to the podcast on Yahoo Sports or read the article, but and I'm sure Kennedy gonna touch on this as well. But the NFL's intention was never to give him a chance to audition for a job. This was about the NFL getting him to sign a waiver. They like to call it a waiver, just like at the, all the talking heads at the network saying, "Oh, it was a waiver," just like at the combine. No, it wasn't. This was a waiver that was not drafted by NFL attorneys. This was drafted by third-party attorneys. It had the combine language in it, but it also contained in it protections from future litigation and legal action against the NFL from Colin Kaepernick and his team. Now, as far as the shirt goes, this is a man that has never been afraid to speak his mind, has never been afraid to share his opinion. He did that on purpose. He did that on purpose because this was basically him saying to the NFL, "I know you don't want me to have a job, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw on this shirt and see how you like me now." This was never about him getting a job in the NFL.
All right. Good point. I agree with that. And the third party thing, you're right. A lot of big companies do that so they won't have any liability on them.
Yeah.
But go ahead, K man, what you got?
Well, the article Brandon was referencing was by Charles Robinson, and the podcast was with the Yahoo the Yahoo NFL podcast. Now, the thing about Yahoo is they do not have a television agreement with the NFL, so their reporters can do just that, report. They don't have to worry about ruffling feathers because I watched last week. Well, no, it was last week. It was Monday. It was Sunday. I'm sorry. It was Sunday when Adam Schefter, they were talking to him about the thing. And you could see Adam Schefter getting hot, but you also could see Adam Schefter calming himself down because ESPN is a partner of the NFL. Well, so Charles Robinson broke that story. And the waiver they wanted him to sign was against liability and in perpetuity. If you don't know what in perpetuity means, that means forever. That means even his kids can't sue the NFL, or his kids' kids, or their kids' kids' kids. So this wasn't about getting him a job. This was all phony. The NFL set up the practice. They set it up on a Saturday at 3:00. We went over this last week.
That's true.
Saturday
Right.
at 3:00. What GMs are going to be at the game? What coaches are going to be in the game when it's traveling day for most NFL teams? So you were going to get pro scouts, but he wanted. That's why he wanted the list. He wanted to see coaches and owners. They wouldn't give him the list.
Right.
And then he saw the waiver and he said, "Okay, this is a sham."
Right.
So what he did, he knew it was a sham, and smartly of him and his people set up that their place at that high school, and because he didn't even know who his receivers were. They told him they made it seem like he was working with Hugh Jackson. No, Hugh Jackson was working with the NFL.
Right.
So this was all a scam. This was never a legit shot to give him a job. He knows that, but he wanted to put on film and for people to show, hey, I got a live arm. I can still move. I can still run an offense, and I'm still better than about 7 quarterbacks that are currently starting in this league.
Right. And it was actually a two-edged sword also, because if the NFL tried to do it so last minute so as to where his team probably or hopefully wouldn't take the time to read over that waiver, and he would just sign it. Was like, okay, whatever, let's just do this. I'm trying to get a job. Let's just do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that didn't happen. But when the NFL scheduled the initial workout, it was supposed to be closed. No media allowed. Do you know why? Because they wanted to control the narrative of that workout. There were going to be no public eyes there, no media there for any public to see, so that they could come out and say, "Oh, he's not the same. He had a lackluster performance. He had a lackluster workout," and so forth and so on.
They wanted 32 anonymous sources, aka their scouts, to say that he wasn't that good.
Right.
He lost his fastball and all that. He knew he's been fighting one of the biggest corporations in the world for 3.5 years. He's not stupid.
Right.
And the problem is the NFL is run by individuals who don't know who they're dealing with.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, man, for me, when I first heard that he was getting a tryout, I was like, okay, all right. I said, at least they're trying to move forward with this thing. But when I heard the day and the time, the first thing popped in my head, because I love college football. First thing popped in my head was like, wait a minute. I said, on a Saturday at 2-3 o'clock, I'm like, who in the hell gonna be there?
In the
People
Southeast.
be watching college football. The team's gonna be traveling. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But then when I heard all the rhetoric behind what was going on, I'm like, okay, yeah. They were trying to set him up. They were trying to say, look, okay, we gave him a chance. We let him work out. He's been asking for it for 3 years.
Right.
But like you said, like you guys said, they wanted it on their terms.
Mm-hmm.
And it fell flat on their face. They're trying
Yep.
to move quickly with the CBA. They're almost giving the players what they want, with the exception of going from 18 to 17 games. Now, the narrative is that the players they might willing to do 17 games. I don't believe it. But they want this deal done because they want to charge NBC, ESPN, Fox,
ABC,
uh,
ESPN.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
and also Amazon or whoever wants to fight for the streaming rights, a
Mm-hmm.
boatload of money. This is a $15 billion a year business that is on its way to $25 billion a year. But the only
Right.
thing that's stopping them is that CBA, another 10-year CBA, but this time the CBA will have like an out clause. But there's something hanging over their heads, and that's Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
And they want to put that to bed. And that was their way of trying to put it to bed stupidly.
Yep.
All
And
right.
that's part of the reason why that's a lot of the reason why Thursday night games, Amazon doesn't have sole streaming rights of Thursday nights anymore because they needed the NFL went sky high on the price after the first year, and Amazon was like, we're not paying that. We don't have to have exclusivity, so that's why you see it on Yahoo Sports also for Thursday night football. And then Monday Night Football, you got it split up between the NFL mobile streaming, ESPN mobile streaming, and Yahoo Sports. So I mean, the price just keep going. It keeps going up.
Keeps going up
every
and
year.
up and up and up. This is a cash cow.
And
But
the
the problem,
players should have some of that.
but it's like any acquisition. You always notice that. I'm a fan of the show Succession, and in this past season, they tried to acquire a company, but they had the companies trying to acquire the smaller company had all this dirt on them, and the smaller company is a prestigious company, and they were trying to get the deal done quickly before all the news broke out. The news broke out, and all of a sudden they splintered apart. The NFL is trying to put everything to bed with this deal, and unfortunately, they still got that nagging issue that won't go away.
Right.
And then also make a real quick point. One of their partners is Nike, and you know who's an employee of Nike? Colin Kaepernick. It's not going away.
Right.
It is not going away.
Good points, man. Good points. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. All right, so this is one I've been trying to scratch my head around ever since this happened Saturday. Tua Tagovailoa playing past the first quarter against a mediocre team. Now my question is, should he have played past the first quarter? And now that he's hurt, where do you guys think he's going to fall in the draft? What you think, K-Man?
Well, first, no, he shouldn't have played in that. They played so they can run up the numbers on an inferior opponent, so they could still stay within the top 5. Well, they lost him in the second quarter, and they still in the top 5. So the voters, because they still have the prestige of Alabama.
Right.
Nick Saban doesn't care. One of the reasons why some teams don't draft Alabama players, because Nick Saban does not care about the kid's future as far as pro. All he cares is that you get drafted so I can recruit, so I can go to some kid's house and say, look, I got like 5 number ones and everything like that. But by the time they get in there,
K-Man, isn't that's his job though, right, K-Man?
your job as a coach is to win. That's your number one job. But don't run them in the ground. Because here's the thing about Alabama. For every kid that's starting, they got like kids behind them that are just as good or even better. Like speaking of Tua, supposedly Tua's brothers on the team, and Tua's brother's supposed to be better than him.
Right.
So he didn't need to play. He did not need to play. Save him for Auburn, and then just hope LSU or Georgia beat each other, and then they don't care about the Pac-12, and you call it a day. But no, he ruined This kid's played. Now he got a hip injury, the same injury that Bo Jackson had. Now this is 20-some years later. Modern medicine has come so far away, but one, we don't know if he's going to. He still has a year eligibility, so we don't know if he's coming back. Two, if he gets drafted, will some team say let's take him and let's take him at number 4, or does he drop? We don't know, but that move cost him money and his family money.
Okay, man. So what you think, B? You think he should have played that game at all? Played past the first quarter, and now where he's getting drafted, B? What do you think, B?
Absolutely not. He should not have been in that game. They could have beaten them by as many points as they wanted to without him. They didn't need him, but like Kennedy said, they were trying to keep pace and stay in the top 5 in hopes that a team above them would slip up so that they could try to back their way back into the national championship.
But think about it. Think about it, B-Wig. Don't you want a coach like that, man, that's going to drive you and put your foot on the throat of the opponent and run the score up?
Not when I have higher aspirations.
Okay.
Of becoming a professional athlete and making millions upon millions of dollars.
Because at the end of the day, I only have 4 years of eligibility.
Right.
You can be a coach forever.
Right. Exactly. Now, as far as the draft is concerned, this actually could be a blessing in disguise for him. Not so much from a financial standpoint initially. Like he won't reap the financial gain that he would have had he went, and we still don't know where he's going to go, but we're assuming that he's going to fall out of the top 5, right?
Right.
So could he possibly go to a team that has a quarterback that's willing to stash him, maybe a year or two until he's ready to play? Then he's playing for a reputable organization. And he's able to reap benefits off of that if he plays well. So I kind of feel like, short term, he lost big money. Let's just be honest. He lost big money short term, assuming he comes out.
Right.
But I think that the later that he goes in the first round, the better.
Also, I want to put in this point. Out earlier when we were talking about Colin Kaepernick, and I was talking about the collective bargaining agreement. This might be the 2020 draft might be the last year with the 5th year eligibility. So if he does fall, I don't see him falling out the first round.
No,
because you get that 5th year.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that he's not out of the first round. He may go mid to late first round, but that all depends on. Do you guys know the rehab from this kind of injury? How long will it take? Because I heard that he may be possibly ready for spring practice.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the tricky one is the posterior injury.
Yeah,
the posterior fracture.
Right.
The hip, the dislocated hip, that'll heal in a couple months.
Yeah.
That'll heal in a couple months. But
offensive linemen have that all the time. Defensive linemen have that all the time.
Yeah. And so, but the posterior fracture, that's the unknown one. And I mean, I don't know the recovery time on that because let's be honest, we just don't hear about that. We don't hear about that injury like ever.
He got hurt on a freak play.
Yeah.
And actually, it wasn't a freak play. After the LSU game, you saw him walking.
Well, yeah.
He was overcompensating with his leg, and what happens when you overcompensate with an injury? Something else happened.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I.e., Kevin Durant with his Achilles because his calf was hurting.
In the words of Kramer. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Now, here's a doomsday scenario that I don't want, but he falls in the draft. And some team in Foxborough moves up, picks him up, and now we got another 20 years.
What did I say the other night? What was the one team that I texted the other night when we were discussing this?
Patriots.
Yeah.
This would be a classic Bill Belichick move. I don't know that they have the ammo to move up into the mid first round because I feel like Josh Gordon could have gotten them there had they kept him, had they hung on to him. I mean, if you want to get rid of him, get something in return. You know, it wasn't like he wasn't producing. He had value, and I'm sure it would be some team dumb enough. Belichick always finds them. Some team dumb enough to deal with you to move you up into the mid first round. You take Tua, boom, like Kennedy said, another 20 years.
I see him going to some crazy team like Tennessee or Chicago or something, you know, or like Detroit maybe.
No, because those teams can't take chances.
Right.
It's going to be a team that is so well organized they can take a chance. Another team I'm thinking about, you got the shirt on.
The Saints?
Yeah, the heir apparent.
Yeah, he'd be much cheaper than Bridgewater.
Yeah, you're not about that one.
And you really don't know exactly what you have in Taysom Hill. He's more of an athlete than he is a quarterback. Now, he can throw the ball, but is that the guy that you want leading your team for the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah. And just imagine Tua with Sean Payton.
Right.
That could be a problem.
Yeah, it is scary. I just thought about it. That is scary.
That could be a problem.
That's more so scary than him in Foxborough.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh. All right. Next topic, man. Oh boy. I know y'all saw the game the other night, right? Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
No.
So.
No, I did not watch that.
Look, I'm gonna start with you, B-Wig. And I just put, you got 5 minutes. Just give me your opinion on the whole situation, B-Wig.
All right. So, number one, the game is way out of hand. Why are you still passing the ball trying to win? Why are you still trying to? I mean, I get pride and all of that, but Mike Tomlin, pack it in, dude. You got seconds left. You're not gonna win this game. Just pack it in. But no, you go and run a screen. Your quarterback's vulnerable, and personally, I don't think the way Myles Garrett took him down, I don't think it was excessive. Mason Rudolph took offense to it, obviously, and kind of instigated the whole thing.
Yeah, tried to kick him, pull his helmet off.
No, he was scratching at his face through his face mask. Nobody says anything about that. He was scratching at his face with his face mask. Myles Garrett grabs his face mask. Myles Garrett says that, Mason Rudolph was trying to kick him in the jewels, in which, I mean, I didn't see a kicking motion, but his foot was right there. And then, we all know where it went from there. It was actually a really, really funny meme out there with Mason Rudolph missing the top quarter of his head.
Yeah. No, it wasn't missing. It was dented in.
Yeah, they were dented in. That was hilarious. And then somebody else posted one. Somebody else posted one of it was a group of Steelers players taking a picture, but they all had the bumped up, swelled up Martin faces from that Martin episode with him and Tommy Hearns.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But Garrett got what he deserved. He totally overreacted. He could have, and he could have endangered Mason Rudolph's life. To be honest. So
in the helmet, yeah, good point. Yeah. All right, K-Man, 5 minutes. What's your opinion, K-Man?
Way too excessive. The thing about this situation is that Myles Garrett is getting a reputation. Mm-hmm. He was a no 1 overall pick. He is showing consistent flashes of being a great, dominant defensive player. But he is showing a lot of consistency of being an aggressive, almost untrained animal. It's just like earlier the year, you essentially broke Trevor Siemian's ankle.
Right.
And in this move, you had so many excessive penalties, and you said before even everything happened, I'm still going to play the way I play. It's just that now referees are just going to be paying attention to you for every little thing. And if you come close to a quarterback without sacking them, they're gonna raise their arms up and they're just gonna get 15 yards all the time. This is not a good look for him, but this also goes to Freddie Kitchen.
Yep.
This team is undisciplined and not coached right because of you. You were way over your head, and you need to go.
Yep.
First of all, this team has underplayed the whole year, and that's on you. And then you just have all these little things happen between the not wearing the proper tennis shoes to wearing a $500,000 watch on the football field to your quarterback just spouting off at reporters, the penalties, the stupid play, this undisciplined, and this is like the culmination of it right here on national television.
Yeah, that's the sad part on national television. Now, the only thing, we played ball, man. They had little skirmishes, but it's like I heard a couple of the guys say that next morning, there's like an unspoken rule in the NFL. Once somebody's helmet comes off, everybody actually like just chill, hold on. Somebody can really get hurt. But he swung the helmet and he hit him in the head, but he hit him with like the pads at the top of it. If he'd hit him with the crown of the helmet, Mason Rudolph could be in intensive care right now, a vegetable or something.
Right, but, which is ultimately the difference why he decided not to press charges. Just because of, he didn't hit him with the crown of the helmet. But I got a question though. Kennedy was just talking about Freddie Kitchens. Assuming he gets fired either before or at the end of the season, can you possibly see the next coach moving on from one Myles Garrett come draft time?
I don't think so.
No.
They're gonna keep him because he like I said, he shows flashes of being a dominant edge rusher, off the end. He just needs to just stay out of trouble, man.
This is only his third year. Next year 4. Then you got the 5th-year option. No, and then he's putting it together. Athletic gifts, tenacity, studying the movements of the offensive lineman. He's starting to get it, like not get it from like being a good player, but getting it from a great player to validating that number 1 overall pick.
Now, do you know who you just described? Khalil Mack. And what happened to him? He got traded.
Well, that was a different situation.
Was a different situation.
Absolutely.
But I'm just throwing it out there. It's possible. Regime changes are not friendly to holdovers, especially holdovers who cause major issues.
That's Machiavelli.
That's right. Regime changes. That's from the head coach. John Dorsey ain't going nowhere. He ain't trading him. So John Dorsey running the organization versus the moron in Oakland.
All right. So we're gonna move on. I got this one little section right. I call open mic. Now we kind of touched on one on this morning. This morning I just want to get y'all going, and I got y'all going this morning, boy. I said, don't y'all think Dak should be in the MVP race? I said, why?
No.
I was at my desk laughing, man. I said, look at them, they're going.
If I were still a swearing man, I would add a preface to that no, but absolutely not.
I still am a swearing man, but I won't go there. No.
No, man. He's having a really, really, really good season. I wouldn't call it great. Having a really good season. But he hasn't been the best against teams that they've played with winning records.
Good competition.
Yeah, like against the scrubs that we've played, he's been, Eagles included, he's dynamite. But I mean, now he granted he did play well against Minnesota. I will give him that. He played well. But the 9 interceptions coupled with the opponents and then his coach still holding him back.
That's it right there.
Yeah, I can't legitimately put him in the MVP conversation. Not yet.
I
Yeah.
believe
Wait,
that the people who are in the running for MVP, two of them, in my opinion, are doing it despite their offensive play caller, as far as Russell Wilson, because he's being coached by Marty's kid, who's a loser, and then uh, Deshaun Watson, and you know how I feel about Bill O'Brien.
Right.
Dak is being held back by his coach because his coach isn't doing for him what Greg Roman's doing for Lamar Jackson.
Right. Exactly.
What about Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes?
So Patrick Mahomes is not in the race.
Oh, he's in the race.
No, he's not.
You could, in watching the game on Monday night, I could see why. I can kind of see why. And people will fall into this trap. Listening to Joe Tessitore and Booger McFarland. Booger McFarland said that he's having a better season than he did last year. I'm like, dude, what season are you? What Patrick Mahomes are you looking at? Because the Patrick Mahomes I see is making bonehead throws right into coverage and expecting his all-world speedy receivers to make up for it. That stood out to me. That stood out to me on Monday night. It like a sore thumb.
You know what stood out to me? What stood out to me is an individual who's been looking at his own clips and reading those press clippings. The plays that he made last year, some of them were he had to make those plays. Now he's going out trying to make plays just to be on ESPN. And the other problem is, when did I don't know, I think it was John Madden who started this. These commentators slurping players just all over them. And they're just all over this kid. First of all, Booger McFarland, his name is Booger. Come on, stop it. And second of all, he's been hitting the head a lot. And the third of all, God, they stink. Like ESPN. Like,
yeah,
come
man.
on. Y'all got to do better than this.
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
They suck.
Those are options they got right now.
You know why the options? Because they keep chasing Peyton Manning for the last 2 seasons. I don't know. Go get somebody the number 14 from Fox Sports, Fox or CBS. Go
Right.
get them.
Exactly.
Look, get Greg Olsen or somebody.
Somebody.
Yeah,
All right.
they desperate, man.
All right, man. So we're gonna keep it moving. So we're gonna start with the picks. And as you can see, Arizona got to buy, Kansas City got to buy, LA, the Chargers got to buy, and Minnesota got to buy. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with you, B-Wig. Who you got, Colts or the Texans?
Give me the Colts. Despite Marlon Mack being out, well, I don't know how long he's gonna be out. I like the Colts. I wouldn't say top to bottom. Houston has the edge at quarterback. Houston has the edge at receiver. But everything in between, I like the Colts defense. Houston's defense was impressive early on in the season, but I think that they have been getting exposed the last 3 or 4 weeks. Give me the Colts.
All right, kid, man, who you got?
Give me the Texans. Deshaun Watson is a young man, but he's a prideful young man. And what happened to him in Baltimore and what happened to his team in Baltimore, which has nothing to do with him, has mainly to do with the individual who is his head coach / GM. But I think he's going to play a better game. They get Fuller back.
Yep.
So give me the Texans.
All right. So next game, Raiders versus the Jets. Who you got, Kid, man?
Raiders.
Really? Over the Jets?
Yeah. Have you seen the Jets play?
Seen the Jets play.
Yeah. Give me the Raiders.
Who you got, B?
I've seen the Jets play. Give me the Raiders.
Oh, man. I didn't think y'all was side regrouping. Okay.
I mean, who wouldn't with this matchup?
I mean, you gotta. I mean,
Look, the Raiders, the Jets are a bad team. Let's get that out of the way. The Jets are a bad team. The Raiders, you know, as bad as we talked about them before the season, they're going to be chomping at the heels of 9-7, 10-6. They're a decent football team.
no, they're not.
Okay, they're a decent football team, not decently coached, but they're a decent football team overall.
No, they're not.
I think they play fundamentally sound, but
Yeah, I mean-
no, they do not.
he in office. Oh no, I'm gonna make that point.
You gotta look beyond Gruden. Look beyond Gruden and look what the players are doing on the field. Josh Jacobs is the real deal.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
Yes.
Defense is playing, you know.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
The defense is playing better and better each game as a unit. And unfortunately,
No,
much like
they
us,
are not.
unfortunately, much like us,
Ex-
they are held back by their head coach.
No. Unfortunately, just like y'all, they played no one in all their wins against no one. Once again, they're not good.
There's no one. All right.
He's taking that one to his grave.
Yeah. All right,
No,
you-
I'm actually not. I'm really not. I've seen them. They're not good. I see the score, but you look at them like they're 5-4. Their point differential is -25. They're not a good team. Trust me, they're not a good team.
I saw that earlier this morning. Yeah, good point came in. All right. All right, B-Wig. Giants versus the Bears. Who you got, B?
Bears. Oh, and about that whole Mitch Trubisky hip injury, they benched him because he stinks. Let's just make that known. They used the hip injury excuse to, try to smooth it over with the fans and the one or two Trubisky supporters out there, but they benched him because he stinks. Chase Daniel is a better quarterback, and you'll see it on Sunday.
You got Kate, man.
I got the Bears, but we really need to talk about that organization. I think I said this before, but I didn't realize how bad it was. Do you know they had no first round pick?
Yeah.
They didn't have a first round pick last year. I don't think they have a second round pick.
No,
That was because of Trubisky, right?
Yeah.
and because of Mac this year.
Yeah. This team needs help, and they're not going to get it in a really deep offensive draft. And that goes to a bad front office
Yeah.
who lucked out 1 year at one fluky 1 year last year, and someone gave him executive of the year. And then they'll go tell you, if it wasn't for that field goal, we'd have done something. No, they wouldn't. I saw that team. I knew that defense was legit, but that offense wasn't nothing. And sooner or later, people's going to catch up. Hey, coaches on both sides get paid. And they had caught up to that team.
Had they won that game against the Eagles last year, they would have gone to LA, right?
And got smoked.
Yeah, they would have gone.
No.
They would have gone to New Orleans. Who was the one
No,
seed?
they would have gone. New Orleans was number one seed.
Yeah.
And the Bears was what? They were 3.
Either 3 or 4.
3 or 4. No, they were 3.
They won the Central, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that Philly won, so Philly went to New Orleans. So yeah, I think that Chicago won, they would have gone to LA
Right.
to play the Rams.
Right.
And had they, I mean, we would probably still be looking at the same Super Bowl that we saw.
Yep.
I mean, Chicago was not going to go to LA, and as well as many Chicago Bears fans as there are, as well as they travel, it wouldn't have been no contest.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one, man. All right. So, K-Man, we got Steelers versus the Bengals. Who you got, K-Man?
Give me the Steelers. Zach Taylor's getting fired.
Who you got, B?
Because the Bengals are just incapable of winning a football game. Give me the Steelers.
K-Man said he's getting fired for sure.
They weren't trying.
I agree.
They weren't trying. They weren't trying to tank.
No.
And it's the same. It's almost the same roster that they had last year, minus AJ, and Marvin Lewis got him 5 wins?
I know, right?
No, he's getting fired.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Who you got, B? The Seahawks or the Eagles, B?
Seahawks. They have no answer for Russell Wilson. I don't care who they get back in their secondary. They have no answer for Russell Wilson. Don't let Sunday's game trick you into thinking that Philly's secondary is somehow quote unquote back by getting the pieces back that they got back.
Yeah,
New England's offense is trash right now. Tom Brady is trash right now. When is the last time when you know how many categories he's either last in or close to last in?
Mm-hmm.
A handful.
Mm-hmm.
He's done.
Yeah, I think
He's done. He's finished.
He's been finished since the middle of last year.
Yeah.
But no one. But he had Gronk.
Right.
A nice big safety valve. That safety valve's gone. There's a reason why they went after Antonio Brown. There's a reason for that.
Right. So yeah, give me the Seahawks.
Who you got, K, man?
I got the Seahawks. The Eagles messed up. There's like 4 or 5 Eagles fans at my job, and I make fun of them all the time. And one is really knowledgeable, and I told him, y'all messed up. Y'all were being too cute. Y'all should have given up a second and a third, and y'all could have got Emmanuel Sanders and Chris Harris. Because you needed a wide receiver, because they went into the season thinking Deshaun Jackson was going to be that missing piece. He ain't never been a missing piece for nobody.
Nope.
And so, but they thought to themselves, we can get by, and then we don't want to waste our assets because this draft, we can get some wide receivers, which they can, corners, they can. But if your whole thing is about getting to the playoffs and getting to Super Bowls, you do and you believe that you're a Super Bowl team, then you make those moves. So by not making those moves, they kind of told us they're not even a Super Bowl, but they're not a playoff contender.
Before they draft anything else, they need to get a replacement for Jason Peters.
Oh, this draft is deep. It's deep.
He cannot stay on the field.
No.
And we all see how desperate Carson Wentz is for great protection.
Yep.
With how poorly he's playing.
That's true, man. Give you that one. Hey. All right, K, man. The Bucks and the Falcons. Who you got?
I have the Falcons winning that game. The Falcons are going to win another 3 games this season to try to save Dan Quinn's job. The Bucks.
They got to get rid of Jameis Winston.
I don't think Bruce Arians likes Jameis Winston.
He doesn't.
And I would not be surprised in the draft that they pick Herbert or Eason. I would not be surprised.
No Fields from Ohio State or Hurts?
Well, no, Fields is not eligible.
Okay. Oh, I'm thinking about Fromm.
Fromm is a game manager. Bruce Arians' offense doesn't work with a game manager.
Well, that's what he kind of had in Carson Palmer, though, at that stage of his career.
Yeah, but he was old and beat up. I mean, I don't want a game manager.
But that's what being old and beat up changed him into.
Yeah, but I don't want a game manager at 22.
You can coach him up, though.
So you want a gunslinger at 22, right, K-Man?
No, I don't want a gunslinger, but I want a person who can progress every year. I don't know. I think Jake Fromm, his ceiling he's almost at his ceiling. I think he's almost at his ceiling. And I thought he was, as a freshman, we almost won the national championship. I was like, oh my God, this kid's going to be great. But he's been the same year 2 and year 3. Now, some people say it's the system that he's in, and they also look at Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow last year everybody said was a game manager, and this year they opened it up, and now you see this kid, and everything I'm hearing is like one of the special things about him is his eyes, the way he looks off safeties.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe in the hands of a Bruce Arians, and a Byron Leftwich, maybe he can.
Yeah, you put him back there and give him Mike Evans, Chris Conway, OJ Howard to throw to.
OJ, no, get rid of OJ Howard.
Oh, Jameis makes OJ look bad.
No, OJ makes OJ look bad.
Oh, trust me. Do you remember what happened to Eric Ebron when he left Indianapolis and went to Detroit?
Yeah, I remember.
I think we're looking at kind of the same thing with OJ Howard. He needs to change the scenery.
I'll give you that. All right, B. Who you got?
The Falcons. Jameis is terrible. Too terrible for the Bucs to overcome. And like Kennedy said, the Falcons are trying to save Dan Quinn's job, which I think they actually will.
They might.
I think Dan Quinn might get another go around.
Yeah, they might.
Because they've done a 180.
But he still has to get rid of all his defensive coaches and offensive coaches. They need some dudes to instill toughness, because that's one thing. That team is soft.
Yeah, they need to clean house and just
Yeah, Sharman's soft.
All right. So B, out of the Dolphins and the Browns, who you got, B?
The Dolphins.
What? Over the Browns, man?
Yep.
Dang,
Listen, the way Kennedy feels about Bill O'Brien, that's how I feel about Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, he messed this up. Like, how do you got Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., David Njoku? How do you mess this up?
Kareem Hunt,
yeah. How do you mess this up? No, man. Give me the Dolphins. They're not playing. They're not playing for Tua anymore. It's pretty obvious that Cincinnati's gonna get Burrow. So why not go out and ball out? I got the Dolphins.
All right, K-Man. Who you got, K-Man?
I got the Browns.
There you go, K-Man.
And then this win is going to screw them in the end, because them beating the Dolphins, I think I have the Dolphins taking Andrew Thomas from Georgia, or is it Georgia? The offensive tackle.
Yeah.
And them stacking up the line to protect what's the young guy from Clemson? Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
In 2021.
Bobby O.J.
And what the Browns need is an offensive tackle. And they're going to get some, and they're going to be better than what they got. But to have the best offensive tackle in this draft, they will not. So give me the Browns.
All right, so K-Man, I couldn't believe this game, Lions versus the Skins. Tickets start at $8.06. Now that's a shame,
man.
But who you got, K-Man?
I saw. Let me gather myself, because I saw on Twitter somewhere where a Jets fan said he was bragging how he got good seats at last Sunday's game for $30. $30 to a actual regular season NFL game. My God. And now you see $8
and 6 cents.
$8. So you're telling me that parking costs more than the actual ticket to the game? Jesus.
What you got, man?
Ooh. Give me the Lions.
You got me
The Lions.
$8.06. When I saw that, I said, "What?"
What Mr. Clarence say from Coming to America? That'll be $8.
Oh man! All right, B. Who you got out of Broncos and the Bills, man?
Oof. Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills.
Huh, bro?
Yeah, the Broncos fell off a cliff in the second half of that Minnesota game on Sunday, and not that Buffalo is any better competition than Minnesota, because they're not. I do think the Broncos will give Josh Allen some problems, but I think the Bills are more complete team, and
I agree with you.
I give it to the Bills.
Who you got, K, man?
First, I gotta calm down. No team in the last 5 years, 99 occasions, no team has been down 20 points and came back to win. No team. But on Sunday, that happened. Now, anybody who's been listening to me, I don't know, for the last 5 weeks, know that I want this team to tank to win. I watched that game. I wanted them to win so bad. I was standing in the doorway of a bar at a Japanese restaurant watching the game as my family walked to their table. And then they threw the last pass and it didn't get completed. And now, with that loss, our draft status has gone up a one. Now we're on the 7th spot. I'm still not happy. Now, you want me to make my pick? I have the Denver Broncos winning this game.
Oh!
You know why? To screw me. Because they need to lose this game so the rookie quarterback can play, so we can see if he's any good. But no, they're going to win this game. And then they're going to delay starting the rookie quarterback.
But look, like I said, Kate, man, you had the phrase of the season when you said, I was trying to will them to lose. I'm like, what will them to lose?
And Sunday is when willing them to lose comes to bite you in the butt.
Hey, look.
Because all that willing them to lose cost me.
Yeah.
And I cared.
When willing him to lose goes wrong.
Exactly. Do you know what my wife said to me? I can't do this anymore. I don't like rooting for a team to lose. We can't do this anymore. She said that to me. Mind you, when I met her, she did not like football because of her brother. I don't know why, but she did not like football. I got her into sports. The Nats, the Capitals, the Rockets, and the Denver Broncos. And she is upset.
Isn't her brother a Redskins fan?
Yes.
That's why she don't like football.
All right, so Kate, man, who you got between the Panthers and the Saints, man?
Give me the Saints. Kyle Allen is showing you why I thought who he was.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He's undrafted for a reason. I mean, I know people love to have these stories of the guy who comes out, the Rudy type stories. But Rudy was fake. The kid is a nice backup. He is a nice relief pitcher, but he ain't the guy. I'm not saying Cam is the guy, but this guy isn't the guy. And it's not his fault. It's the limitation and ability that he has.
Dude.
Who you got, B?
Well, for my pick, I'm picking the Saints, but being in this area, living in this area, I can't begin to tell you how heartbroken people are right now. They hopped on that Kyle Allen train, luggage and all. And to see this thing come crashing down like this,
So you saying you wasn't one of the people, B-Wig?
I mean, I like what the dude was doing, but he's showing his youth. he's showing his draft status. Now that doesn't change my opinion about Cam Newton, because nothing's gonna change when he comes back. But to see, to see a fan base get rejuvenated, only to have them see them
fall down, right?
flat on their face, man. It's been interesting to see. It's been interesting to see.
Oh
But
man.
yeah,
Look.
I'll take the Saints.
Yeah, look, I know they're heartbroken, but Ron Rivera's doing a great job coaching this year.
Mhm.
And I keep going back to this, and I'm gonna keep going back to this to the end of the season. This is a really good draft for offensive players, and they could probably get a quarterback in this draft.
Right.
Well, you know what they can get? A better offensive line, and a better offensive line with Christian McCaffrey, another DJ Moore having another year of seasoning. Maybe find yourself a replacement tight end, or just something to relieve the pressure for Greg Olsen. And then also on the defense, try to get a little bit younger. I mean, they're gonna be okay.
Yeah, they'll be relevant.
So B-Wig, who you got, the Titans or the Jags, man?
God, I hate picking AFC East game.
I know, right?
So
Not AFC East, but AFC South. Gosh, give me the Titans. No rhyme or reason, just give me the Titans.
All right, K man, who you got, K man?
give me the Jags.
Yeah, I was gonna I'll take the Jags, yeah, man. Since Nick Foles is back. All right.
Ryan Tannehill's a quarterback for the Titans. Give me the Jags.
I know, right? That's enough said. Hey, so this game right here, man, the ticket price started at $339 a ticket. So, K-Man, who you got, Cowboys or the Patriots?
One quick question. What is the weather going to be like in Foxborough?
Ooh. Probably
Like
going to
10
be raining.
seconds, I'll tell you.
It's pretty rainy and cold because it's supposed to be raining on the East Coast.
It's supposed to be raining on Sunday. No, Saturday. But not that
okay,
bad.
no Sunday.
Yeah, not Sunday.
Yeah, it's supposed to 50% chance of showers. Cold.
Yep.
Give me the Patriots.
Because of the weather?
Because of the weather. Because
Well, actually, during game time, the chance decreases, but I mean, it still might be kind of misty.
give me the Patriots. Because once again, we've talked about this. This is not a well-coached team in the Cowboys on both levels. Rod Marinelli needs to be taken to the old folks home. He doesn't know the difference between a wide nine and a zone. This is a winnable game for them. Honestly, it actually is a winnable game. Once again, I told you, I don't believe in the Patriots defense because they didn't play anybody. And this is a really good offense. But at the end of the day, it's late November and coaching matters. And this is where Bill Belichick sets himself apart from everybody else. Give me the Patriots.
All right. And who you got, B?
Means sets himself apart from everybody. He's already done that 10 times over.
He challenges himself all the time. That's why he has 6. Well, I'm sorry. He has 8.
He's not
He
gonna
has
be
8
fouled on the
rings.
sideline of this game.
Give me the Cowboys.
Oh.
I know what the facts say.
I know why you're picking them.
I know that it's Foxborough. I know that it's late November. I'm taking the Cowboys because Jason Garrett is really, as lame as he is, he's really, really good in the month of November. For whatever reason. That on top of the Cowboys having the number 1 offense against a respectable, I think slightly overrated, but respectable Patriots defense.
1 offense in DVOA versus number 1 defense in DVOA.
You think Dak throw 2 more picks?
Of course he's going to throw picks in this game. It's going to be wet, and And, you know, you got the McCourties, you got Stephon Gilmore. I mean, they're littered with talent on that end.
Also think he's going to run 50 yards.
Yeah. I just think we do enough to win this game. I mean, I think Dak is going to outplay Tom Brady. It's no longer a stretch of the imagination to think that.
For this one game, be weird. Give me the score.
27-21 Dallas.
Ooh.
Part of me, I really wanted to pick the Cowboys only for the simple fact it's not because Jason Garrett's really good in these games. He's really good at giving you false hope.
All right, K-Man. Give me a score, K-Man.
This is a false hope game, but I'm going to go with 2017.
Patriots?
Patriots.
Ooh. Y'all got these some kind of close games. I don't know.
Patriots, yeah. Patriots ain't got no offense.
All right, B-Wig. I think this game is going to be good, too. Packers and 49ers. Who you got, B-Wig?
Packers.
That's what I was thinking, too, man.
Better, front to back. Better team.
That's what I'm thinking. Who you got, K-Man?
I got the Packers. I see a lot of that's 49ers defense being on the field a lot, getting tired.
That's what I was thinking between the way Aaron Rodgers plays and that running game Green Bay got, man. But
it won't be Aaron Rodgers. It will be Aaron Jones.
Yeah, both Rons are going to go off in that game.
Yeah.
And not off like they're going to go like super silly, but they're going to do enough to wear them down. And that's just going to be it. And then once this game ends, a lot of people are going to say, okay, I think the San Francisco 49ers are frauds. Not frauds, but not as good as we thought they are. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. For me, it comes down to this. I think it'll be a close game. Who do you trust more in crunch time, Aaron Rodgers or Jimmy Garoppolo?
That's supposed to be funny, man.
This court's adjourned.
All right, so K-Man, who you got the Sunday night game, Ravens versus the Rams?
Give me the Ravens.
Oh.
They are playing good ball. The Rams are trying to answer a lot of questions on that team, both offensively and defensively. It seems like the one of the highest paid individuals in all the sports, the biggest con artist in the last 15 years in major. Jared Goff. Oh. They don't even want him to throw the ball. So, and I think Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram and that offense are playing with a high level, but that defense is playing at a high level. They clicking on all cylinders. I don't know if they're clicking too soon. They're clicking on all cylinders. So, give me the Ravens.
That's a good point. Who you got, B?
Give me the Ravens. I don't believe in the Rams. I don't believe in Jared Goff. As bad a season as Carson Wentz is having, Jared Goff is having an even worse season. It's looking more and more like Dak Prescott is probably the best quarterback of that draft. The Ravens, top to bottom, man, they can run the ball. The running backs can catch it out of the backfield. You got, the obvious Lamar Jackson to deal with. The tight ends can go up and get it. Yeah. The Ravens are a much superior team. Away being on the West Coast won't matter because they average over 200 rushing yards per game. Ravens.
All right. So 5 minutes. Parting shots. Go ahead, B-Week.
I really don't even need that much. I really need for the NFL to loosen, and it won't happen, but just loosen the reins a little bit on these penalties on quarterback hits. I mean, I saw a few instances on Sunday where teams pretty much got screwed because a defensive lineman looked as though he was landing on the quarterback when he actually didn't, when the majority of his weight was sliding past the quarterback, not on the quarterback. I think this week we replaced the 49ers with the Packers in the conversation of Super Bowl contender in the NFC. Done.
That was pretty good. All right, K man, what you got?
What I got is something that it's our old friend. He's popping his head up once again. We spent the first 3 podcasts talking about our old friend, and now he is reemerged. One AB Antonio Brown issuing no apology. Why? Because he ain't got no checks.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
What did I tell y'all about showing up at the job doing right? You ain't gonna get no checks. You come in there.
Apologizing to Robert Kraft for stating the obvious that he's under investigation for misconduct at a massage parlor. But someone wants to get back into the league.
Right.
Someone might drop his grievance against the Patriots. So that is my shot that Antonio Brown is trying to rear his goofy head back up into the league.
Yeah, I saw that this morning, man. I was like, okay. And my first thing was like, okay, he needs some money coming in. Oh man, all right, America. There you have it. Hey, I started something new. I made sure I got everybody's pick and I sent it to y'all in the email. So everybody's pick is in the email.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you to start doing that too. I'm gonna actually go back in the podcast and we need to do a tally up at the end of the year. And
let's before we do that, when we went on break,
yeah,
someone was really good at predicting some of these games.
Oh, here we
go. He didn't get
go.
the just due that he deserved for picking so good. Yes,
for 1 week.
I made some mistakes, but I hit the big ones. And that's all I'm going to say.
You want me to go in a Mean Gene Oakland mode with my mic? Okay.
I'm gonna see your Mean Gene, and I'm gonna do a Mr. Perfect and pat myself on the back.
Look,
then I'm gonna go outside and throw a football to myself 50 yards.
And then, but look, I top you because I'm gonna do the Golden Boy. Woo!
He said Golden Boy. Don't you mean Nature Boy?
Nature Boy?
Yeah, Nature Boy.
He said Golden Boy.
For God's sakes, you're from New Orleans. He ran up and down that territory for like 30 years.
This man think about Jerry's T-shirt.
He think about Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah. Oh, we got that on tape too. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and I'm not gonna edit that out. I'm gonna come back next week with a Golden Boy T-shirt saying "Woo."
Oh man.
Hey, Nick gonna start calling him Mike Flair. I'm like,
hey, look, don't have me going down wrestling lane, man, because you know I'm old school from the 80s.
Hey man, I only go back as far as Dusty Rhodes and
I remember Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race,
American Dream,
Thunderbolt Patterson, Junkyard Dog, Paul Orndorff, Ted DiBiase,
Iron Sheik,
the Wyndhams.
Look, Iron Sheik, Shaker Honey,
Rock and Roll Express.
Nikolai, y'all know Nikolai Volkov lived in Maryland, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lived in some. I think he did. He died in Maryland. I think he lived like outside of Glen Burnie or something, man. Yeah, man. Wild stuff.
Yeah.
All right, peoples.
All right.
This was another good episode.
Once again, special shout out to our special guest who introed this podcast on today.
Yep. We have to pay a royalty fee for his appearance, but nonetheless, it was worth it.
America. This is Fred Koppel here. We're signing off. Peace.
Don't you mean Tyrone Koppel?
I mean, you are.
We can't say that for copyright reasons. I'm Fred
Okay.
Koppel. I'm Tyrone's brother.
I said carpal, as in carpal tunnel.
Hit the button, man. Yo.